It was the year of 1945. K.C. Mahindra, the then chairman of Coal Commission, and J.C. Mahindra, the first iron and steel controller of India, joined hands with Ghulam Muhammad to set up Mahindra and Muhammad. They initiated the journey of our dreams with a business of steel trading and as the resellers of Willys Jeeps in India. While 1947 was witnessing the divide of the then India, it also saw Muhammad moving across the border, and the company was renamed as Mahindra and Mahindra. Once Mahindra and Mahindra began to assemble the iconic Willys Jeep in India, mobility began to trickle across the country. Over the passage of time, many glorious Mahindra-ites have gone on to decorate the brand Mahindra.
I joined Mahindra and Mahindra way back in I think March 1956 in the Jeep manufacturing division. This was the starting point of ultimately what became the auto sector.
In the year 1961, we ventured into the business of tractors.
Mr. Gadikar was our works manager. Along with him, I assembled the first tractor in India. That time there was no toolkit, no crane. Under a tree in Ghatkopar, from press shop to foundry, there is a slope, there is a tree. So we took a rope, slung it around a stout branch of a tree and pulled the SKD packs and things one by one and assembled them. From morning 8 o'clock we started, 7 o'clock in the evening we finished. But the first tractor was born that time.
You know, we have gone through a very bad time when there was a trouble in the tractor division. 36 days lockout was there.
In 1963, Mr. Keshab Mahindra took over the reins of Mahindra and Mahindra Limited.
He paid them full wages of the lockout. I said ours is the first company in this country which had paid the lockout wages. He said that only proved that I have no vengeance against the workers. That has touched me so much. How a man for 36 days plus another 25 days, 30 days, no production, have been able to talk about in favor of workers. He said that their families will really suffer.
The brand pillars of accepting no limits and alternative thinking were already a part of Mahindra DNA.
The quality of the tractor was being talked about as very bad. So to overcome that, in the marketing side, we put service engineers in different positions to regain the credibility in the market. We made it a rule that any tractor purchased in a village must be followed up by the service engineer within 4 days of the man's buying it and checking there, satisfying the man that the machine works well. This way I think it got propagated very fast, and consequently from there the story starts that our volume started picking up and the tractor became quite acceptable machine.
Today, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited is the world's #1 tractor company by volumes. It has to its credit Japan's prestigious Deming Award for quality.
There was a situation in mid-70s when the petroleum crisis took place the first time. Suddenly there was no product in the Jeep. The Jeep was a petrol Jeep and it was not sellable because petrol vehicle was not acceptable. The transformation of the Jeep took place by virtue of the tractor team working on the Jeep, converting the Jeep, the tractor engine suitable for the Jeep. I would say most important change that had taken place in the history of Mahindra and Mahindra. A company which all of a sudden overnight lost a product, had no product, did not miss out the dividend that year.
Today, we have acquired the position of leadership in utility vehicle segment in India. we are poised to consolidate our presence in the international arena.
I was 10 years in the overseas department. We sold vehicles to Scandinavian countries, to the UK market. We had importers, distributors in Germany, France, Italy. We had assembly plants. Our first assembly plant was in Switzerland. Then we had a very big plant in Greece. We sold a lot of Jeeps in Australia. And our biggest market naturally was Iran.
With the ambition of transforming itself as a global multinational, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited underwent a massive BPR exercise under the promising leadership of Mr. Anand Mahindra.
We started business process re-engineering. It's a concept that is a time when Mr. Anand Mahindra was inducted in the board and he felt that this was BPR is required. He himself undertook a training in BPR and BPR was revved up beautifully. I think that's the best thing that happened to Mahindra and Mahindra.
Early 90s, we were one of the first company which went in for BPR, business process re-engineering, and they decided to go for BPR, and Mr. Devas and three of us were chosen to go to Birmingham, UK for training under Lucas, and we came back and the BPR was rolled out. It was quite a big success, did the company a lot of good.
We worked on the Scorpio. We were fighting a deadline for the launch, but we could not get a rubber of the right hardness. We had two different issues. The marketing guys felt we have to launch this, otherwise we're going to miss the market, miss the bus because other competition will come in. And the R&D guys said, you cannot launch this because the hardness is not okay and it will all start failing. So what I did was I got hold of Orma Sorabji, I got hold of Subaya. So I said, let's give them 6 Scorpios with the new rubber mounts, which according to R&D will not last. I gave it to them. They ran it for about, I think they did Bombay, Goa. And they came back and said, I don't think you should waste your time waiting for something better. So my next question was, if it fails, when will it fail? He said it will not fail for at least the first 6 months. So then my next question was to our marketing team, that when does the next service come up? So if the next service is up after 3 months or 4 months, then we could change all the mounts when they come to the dealership and without losing face that you've sold a product which did not last the test of time. What's very heartening is the vehicles have done over 100,000 kilometers and not a single mount has been changed.
Scorpio, the first big vehicle that we launched, and it changed the way the world looked at us. And then the whole process of Scorpio project was amazing. Right from the time Mr. Keshav Mahindra approved the budget, then Mr. Anand Mahindra used to give us talks. Invariably my hair would stand on his end when Anand talked. It was amazing. It really pepped us up. Then Alan would hold those weekly meetings, steering committee meetings with Pawan Goenka and Rajesh and everybody in Praveen. I mean, it was very, very satisfying, a moment of pride absolutely for all of us.
Mahindra, a $16.2 billion diverse global federation, spans across 18 key industries.
The years following 2003 were the most exciting because exponential growth was the mantra, and the blue chip conference had come into effect, where our focus on the 5 blue chip mantras was critical to the organization achieving its goals. It was about that time that the HR strategy had to align with these huge growth aspirations of the group.
In the year 2011, the 3 inherent pillars of our strength were outlined under the new corporate brand position of RISE.
Let me explain. Because when we grew from a small 2-man partnership to a multi-billion-dollar group, what were we doing? We were rising through opportunity. When we adapted the tractor engine and put it on a Jeep to beat the oil crunch in the 70s, what were we doing? We were rising to challenge. When we built the Scorpio at a cost nobody could believe, what were we doing? We were rising through self-belief. And when Nanhi Kali sends a girl to school, or when we groom an underprivileged child for a job at the Mahindra Pride School, what are we doing? We are rising. We are rising through inclusivity. So to rise has always been a part of our DNA.
We may have begun modestly, but today we are proud to have created state-of-the-art product development and manufacturing facilities. Today, we have over 155,000 employees spread across the globe. We have made our footprint expand across 100 countries. As we walk into the future, we stand united as the House of Mahindra. The core values define the way we work. The 3 brand pillars define what we do, how we do, and why we do. And the core purpose guides our destiny.
By the year 2021, we want to become one of the top 50 most admired global brands. We will do this by excelling in businesses that make an impact on people's lives and enable them to rise.
I always said once a Mahindraite, always a Mahindraite.
I may be known as Pargal, but Pargal of Mahindras.
I can put my head up high and say, yes, I was a part of this company, Mahindras.
This journey of Mahindra's rise is attributed to a band of Mahindraites like you who shall continue to live in our hearts forever.